wanted to go over some. This recently just started. I started this a long time ago, but then I just kind of lost track when we were in the move. And, with one truck, it's not as a big a deal. But once you have like more than one truck, this becomes a real big deal. And it is a big deal when you have one. It's just uh, not as big of a deal. It's a big deal, but it's not, like super critical, But when you have more than one truck, you start to forget things. That's the way it works. You start doing your maintenance, and then next thing you know, you forgot what you've done, 2 months, 3 months later down the road, and then, next thing you know, then the FMCSA is trying to do a safety audit on you, and then you're in big trouble. So let me just show you guys something that I started when I first started my business, and just some of the things that I've done. So let me show you first what the sheet looks like blank, and then I'll just show you some of the old past ones that I've done. I've kept pretty good records of what I've done to my dump trucks. Except for the newer ones, I didn't really keep good track. And then because of the whole move and stuff, and then I lost these sheets, and then I finally found them, and we got a whole bunch more printed. And now I'm better set up in my shipping container that I'll have everything, when I need it. So basically, this is my maintenance record. It's I can't tell if it's backwards for you guys or not. So let's just do this. Let me just put this phone up and just show you this way. Okay, there we go. So it shows the date, the truck, the trailer, the mileage, issue, requiring maintenance, and then the description. And then boom, there's 3 of them on each sheet basically, right? So going back to April 2018, this is back in April 2018. Look at some of these records I kept. All airlines to brake cracked and some leaking. Replaced all airlines to brake, steer, drop, driver axles that were non-compliant with DOT. Signed, dated. And I got record after, look at all these records I got. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them here, right? So this is something that I have done for a long time. And I think it's very, very important, especially when you get more than one truck, because one thing that makes this, the reason these are very handy is because you can go back, and if you write like the filter numbers and stuff on here, you can write part numbers on here. That way, if you need to go back and you need to do the other side of the truck and the same thing was broken or something, then you can just go back and look up your notes, and then boom, then you don't even have to go in with the part. You can just call them up and say, hey, this is what I need, this is what blah, 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 done deal. So let me put these back in here. These ones are the ones that I did for a while. Okay, so let me just show you. I just filled out one full page. This was my assignment today. One of the things I really wanted to get done today is catching up on everything that I've done to the 2009 International since I bought it. It's all on this one piece of paper because we finally just found these sheets and we got them reprinted. So I kind of wanted to go over that with you guys and show you, when I bought the truck, the owner literally said, the truck is good to work right now. That's what they say. That's what they all say, right? So I wanted to show you what you're going to get when you buy a truck that's good to work. Good to go to work. Nothing's wrong with it. It's ready to work, right? So I'm going to show you what that entails. That way, when you go to buy your used truck, you're not just smacked in the face with all these problems all at once, right? And I also showed you guys earlier, right? I got my little clipboard on the wall, So today, I'm just going to read off what I did today, basically. This is some stuff that I had to update because I didn't keep track of the brand new Peterbilt. So I wrote fuel filter, oil change, sample, and the filters. The oil filter was changed. Air hose on front drop axle. Air hose near front differential rubbing. Hydraulic hose near cylinder rubbing. And then I wrote changed fluids, filters, added anti-rub on hydraulic hose, and changed air hoses and installed anti-rub. New antenna for the CB. New mic for the CB. Driver's side running lights went out, replaced, installed. Also installed fast drain oil plug. And then for today, so this was just kind of an update from the stuff that I did last month with that truck. And then for today, I just put May 2nd, truck 009, truck 10. I put the miles down, 63,000, 306,000. Grease all fittings. And then I put grease all fittings, strong arm, chassis, all. Right? So that way, you know, if I don't have the time to grease the whole truck, at least I can write down, like, okay, I greased the drivetrain. I did not grease the strong arm. Everyone does that junk in the beginning. Yeah, see, there you go. A lot of people don't continue to do it. That's the problem. A lot of people, and especially, and I fell into this too. I stopped doing it for a while, but I started again. It's very important because it's not important in a sense that, you know, it does help you remember, right? It's very useful when you write down the filter numbers and stuff because you can go back and then you don't got to tell them the VIN number and this and that. And no, we didn't polish rims today. We greased trucks today, right? So I told you guys, I don't have time to polish rims. I just spent 4 or 5 hours greasing the trucks and fixing like the little stupid stuff that I found. Like there was a hydraulic on the brand new truck, the hydraulic cylinder. There's a hydraulic hose coming off the top of it that runs back around the bottom, and you can hardly even see the thing. But it's been rubbing on the cylinder. It's been rubbing on the bottom of the cylinder and also where it was coming down. So I just installed a hose anti-rub, right? But I wrote that down, you know. And so this is very important because I do know people that have got in trouble, like they got in an accident. I didn't get in trouble, but I know people that had said, Brian, you got to keep records. This happened to me. This literally happened to some people that I know. 2 instances that I know of. 2 in particular people that I know personally. One of them was a customer for a short stint. I did 1 or 2 weeks worth of work for him because his truck, he had a rockery truck, and it was in a very serious collision. It wasn't the driver's fault. It was somebody else. But they crashed. The DOT inspected the truck, and then next thing you know, the DOT was showing up at the guy's yard and saying, we got to do a full inspection of everything, da-da-da-da-da. You know, they wanted maintenance records and everything. And luckily, he was in the clear, right, because he did this stuff, apparently. The other guy I know, Steve, super cool guy. Love the guy. He's super awesome. He's been in his business for, I don't know, 50 years now, 60 years. He just owns 1 truck. He owns a few excavators, but he doesn't really do that stuff anymore. I don't think. He just runs his dump truck every once in a while. He's mostly retired now. But he had a DOT audit, and they came by and they said, you need to keep maintenance records. Like, we want to see those records. And he's like, well, I don't got any. I can show you the receipts. That's all I got. You know, and they're like, that's not good enough. You're going to have to write down this stuff and give it to us. And so, you know, he ended up doing that. And he told me, he's like, man, that sucked. Like, make sure you keep track of this stuff. And so, you know, is it going to happen to you within your first 2 years of business? Probably not. First 3, 4 years? Probably not. Maybe on your 7th or your 15th or something, you know, eventually, you know, down the road, these maintenance records are going to come in handy. Also, because here's another thing. If you ever decide to sell a piece of equipment, these are worth their weight in gold right here. These are worth their weight. Because you can say, let me just show you all the maintenance records I got from this truck, you know, and pull out 50 pages of maintenance records. That is worth a lot of money to people, because then when you say, yeah, I had the motor rebuilt 30,000 miles ago, I got the paperwork, they can actually look at the paperwork, and it's something they can trust your word on it, right? So, you know, when people go through the pain of doing this stuff, it pays off in the end. It really does. And it doesn't take that long to write down, you know, as long as you stay on top of it. It's when you have to go back and try and remember, that's when it starts, you know, getting you in the behind. I'm going to go put this back up on my wall over here. Good habits now is cash in the bank later. Amen to that. Amen to that, Bobby. So, I also am going to put a few of these in my dump trucks so the drivers can have them in the clipboard. And if they see something, they can write it down. Boom. And then that helps me even more, because then I got more than one set of eyes on the truck, you know. And drivers, I was guilty of this all the time, noticing something and then telling myself, I'm going to tell the boss about this. And then I forgot about it, you know. And then later on it came up, and then it was an issue, you know. So this will be one more thing I can say, look, man, you should have wrote it down on this. You know, it's that accountability type thing. So let me just show you, let me just read through this real quick. What have I done to the International since we purchased it a month ago? It's almost been a full month, right? Almost been a full month. Let's see, because we bought it right around March 5th. And so April 5th, May 5th. Oh, it's been almost 2 months. Never mind, 2 months. But the first month we were basically working on the thing before we even got it rolling. So basically a month of running it, but 2 months of ownership. This is what we've done to the thing since we bought it. So drop axle bushings, all of them. All 3 axles. There's 2 arms on each side. So 2, 4, 6. 6 and 6 is 12. 12 is 24. So 24 bushings for the drop axles. We did the front carrier bearing. We did 1 torque rod from the front axle and 1 from the back. 4 drop axle tires. Brakes, passenger side, also front axle wheel seal. Back axle drum was bad. We replaced that. And the pads. I forgot to write that. Pads. Plus pads. Okay. I did cab light on far left, the top, the indicator. My right indicator. Indicator, both hood turn signals, the turbo, the intercooler, power steering reservoir, the starter, power steering pump, drop axle, dump valves. 3 went out. Replaced air dryer filter, air filter, fuel filter, oil filters, trans fluid, and trans fluid filters. Also, we did, I'm going to add in here, plus samples taken. That way I have that too. Front hood mirror, mirror adjuster switch, AC compressor, adjusted air governor, replaced tail lights, 2 of them. Backup lights, 2. Rear diff fluids and filter. Add CB speaker, idler pulley for alternator. Replaced for alternator belt. Changed headlights. Fixed washer hose. The washer on the passenger side was loose. The washer hose. I'm going to write passenger. I forgot to write passenger. There was a coolant leak on the air compressor. I fixed that. The CB mic holder, there was non-existent. Topped off hydro fluid and tightened sight glass. Did that today. Fixed cab, airbag, height adjuster. So the adjuster that sets the height of the cab, I had to readjust that because it was like bottoming out over every single pothole. The driver was like, this thing, something's wrong with the shock. And I'm like, yeah, I think it just needs to be adjusted right. And it just needed to be pumped up more. New pan gasket. Added zerk fittings to the strong arm. Added rubber protectors to hoses on strong arm. And separators tightened. Greased all points. Replaced circuit for headlights and mirror heater. Put a plate over put a plate over the empty space on the dash. Fixed air hose near front diff. Broke. The air valve broke. I replaced that. Emission sensor was unthreaded. Threaded that back in. Greased air ride seat. Clean bottom of cylinder full of debris. Replaced Hall Max pads, both sides, front and back. So, in 2 months of owning this dump truck, that's everything we've done to it. Everything we've done to it. And that was a dump truck that the guy literally said it can go to work tomorrow. It can go to work today. Like, it's work. It just got off work. You know, that's what people tell you. That's what you're going to buy. This is what you're buying. There's no such thing as a good to work truck unless you're buying it brand new. It's still not even ready to work because guaranteed you're going to end up fixing something on it. So this goes in my clipboard full of filled out maintenance records. And, you know, we got 2 spare keys up in our shop now. And we also got our clipboard right there. Right? So that's how easy it is. You know, if you put this stuff somewhere that it's not a pain. This is the main thing. You got to make it convenient for yourself to do these type of things, because if you don't, you will never do them. That's what it comes down to. You know, so this is in a very convenient spot because as soon as I am going to start working on something, I can immediately write it down real quick. Boom. And then do whatever I'm doing, you know, and then if I did something extra, I could add it at the end. You know, before I used to have that in the house, and the clipboard was in the house, and it was just, it got lost, you know, and that's what happens. You have to set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for success by making your life easier, you know, streamline everything. And so, you know, that's just what I've been doing. I figured I would show you guys how I did that, and drop that fender flap off scrapyard and bring your license plate home. You thought ready to work. Yeah, it had a lot of issues with it, and I knew that, you know, when I bought it. And that's why I told the guy, he wanted $65,000 for it. I said, I'll give you $55. It's rough, you know. And you know, it's a very good deal for that super dump. $55,000 is a smoking deal. Everybody I've talked to has agreed with me on that. Even though all the small stuff that I've done, it hasn't really added up because I did it all myself, right? So now, if I would have paid somebody to do that, that truck would have easily been a $100,000 truck already. You know, easily I would have paid, you know, and it wouldn't have made any money. But the truck since we got the turbo fixed, it has not missed a single day, because every single day I'm looking at that thing and I'm fixing things, that are going wrong as they're happening. So at the end of the day, if something's broken, it's fixed before it goes out the next day, and what happens is when you run a truck for a year straight and you do that every single day, by the end of that year, the truck's going to be bulletproof, and that's what you got to have in your mind. Obviously it's going to have some issues right out the gate because the last guy didn't take care of it. He obviously didn't have any maintenance records. He only had the truck for a month and he bought it at auction, right? So there's definitely not going to be anything from that type of situation. So, that's the way things go, So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that, do a quick little video, show you, how I keep track of my maintenance and, how it makes my life easier, because I'm writing down filter numbers and everything like that from now on, and part numbers and stuff. It's going to make my life a lot easier because, if something breaks on one truck, then I can just be like, oh, that's the same valve on this truck. Let me look that up. Then I'll have to take it off and bring it into the parts store. I can just tell them, So. Yes, you do need to start doing that for your machines, Bobby. It's very important. Machines are even more maintenance. Machines, they got a lot of maintenance in them too, a lot of maintenance costs. You got the tracks, the track pads, the links, all, anything to do with the running gear of a machine is very expensive. And it adds up quick, so, and you're replacing hydraulic hoses all the time, so if you write down the lengths and stuff, if a machine is on a site and the guy tells you which one is busted and you've already replaced the other one and you wrote down how long it is, what type of fittings it has on it, you can call up the hydraulic shop and say, hey, have this hose ready for me, this is what I want, blah blah blah, this big a hose, these type of fittings, I'll be there in an hour to pick it up. Boom, done. That's a good thing too, Tom. A steering shock, that's a good thing to have on hand with especially these trucks that have so many drop axles. I do need to buy a few of those, because when your steering shock goes bad, that thing will go boop, 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 boop when you're driving down the road, and it will shake the heck out of the truck. It will ruin stuff. I had an experience where when I first got my old dump truck on the road, I had it wasn't even it was probably my second summer in business, I think. It was either the second summer or the end of the first summer. I can't really remember, but I was having a problem with the drop axle. Like, I'd go over a bump, and then next thing I know, the drop axle was going boom, 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 maxing out on both sides, and it was shaking the truck so bad, like it literally broke one of the headlight mounts on the hood, the driver's side. It broke it off. Like, I got to the job site, and the guy's like, what the heck is your headlight doing down next to your tire? And, thank goodness it didn't get lost, because that headlight bracket alone is like $200. And then the headlight itself, I mean, that's another $150 if you can find one. But I ended up replacing the shocks. I ended up doing all the bushings on that drop axle. I did everything that drops axle, and it still couldn't figure it out. And what it was the toe in was adjusted too narrow. It was too narrow for some reason. And the combination of the bad bushings and the bad shocks, that was when you hit a bump, it just maxed it out, and then it would slam back and forth, you know, and it would look like somebody was going skiing on the road with rubbers. That's what it looked like. What's you doing, brother? How you doing, man? I just got done reading off the list of everything I've done to the International since I bought it in the 2 months that I've owned it. For a truck that was ready to work when I bought it. I know you've heard that before, Blake. Oh, that truck's ready to work tomorrow. You can work that thing tomorrow. This is the list you're going to end up doing when you buy that truck. Just got done greasing the Sterling. Yep. Amen, brother. I just got done greasing my trucks, too. I just got done greasing them. I was showing everybody my, I have these maintenance record sheets right here. And for May 2nd, truck 009, truck 10, the mileage, grease all fittings. Boom. Well, Felicia got done greasing it, but I supervised. If only I could get my wife to grease my trucks, that would be amazing. Or my son or something. Pretty soon, that would be nice. Yeah. I mean, some of those fittings, man, like the front driveline U-joint, you gotta crawl underneath the truck and stick it on there. The 2020 Peterbilt, that truck is so far off the ground. It's amazing to go underneath that truck. I love going under that truck. The International, it's lower to the ground, and it's just like trying to squeeze your way underneath it without getting all the gunk and dirt falling in your eyeballs. But, yep, just greased all the fittings. And you know what else I did? I just replaced, let's see if I can show you. Only costed you some Amazon shopping. Makes you appreciate that DeWalt grease gun. Oh, I love this DeWalt grease gun, guys. This was the best, one of the most bestest investments I've ever made. This DeWalt grease gun. Boom. I put the small battery on it because it makes it lighter. If you get a grease gun, you got to get one of these. This is a lock and lube. I just replaced the tips on this because I wore the other one out. When you buy the lock and lube, it comes with an extra one. And I'm going to show you guys pretty soon here. I just bought this filler right here. Soon I'm going to have mine set up so I can bulk fill this. I'll be able to hook it right up to this pump. Boom, and fill the thing up without even unscrewing it. Don't even got to worry about priming nothing. So I'm super excited about that. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, see, the lock and lube comes with a coupler seal replacement. I just did that because mine was getting worn out. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. This is my garbage. You can see grease tube, some brake clean, you know, a whole bunch of gloves, garbage. I'm super excited too, guys. You know what I just did? Who keeps... Mark keeps calling me on Facebook. I'm on a live stream, Mark. Anyways, I just got stereo installed. This thing really bumps. My goodness, this thing bumps. I seen your face. I accidentally answered it. I accidentally answered the... Okay, guys, I'm going to be right back. I got to message Mark that I'm on a live stream or else he's going to keep calling me. I'm going to message him. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. go. All right, so super excited. My neighbor gave me the speaker system. I bought this on Amazon. I can plug it into my phone, listen to music. Oh, it's so loud. So loud, so amazing. Especially in this shipping container. So, get yourself one of these and get yourself one of these little clips. These little clips are nice. They're only like $2 at Walmart. So I put a whole bunch of them up there. Help me organize myself. So, another thing I did today. What's up, Mark? You guys can see this jar full of, this is lubrication. It's the, what is that called? I soaked all this in the PB blaster today. I was working outside in the rain and those all got super rusted, so I soaked them all in the PB blaster today and fixed them. But hi, Mason. Say hi to everybody. Hey, Mason. Say hi.
Hi.
You saying hi? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put this stuff back down here. Yep. Guys, I have really been working on trying to keep my shop clean. And look at that. It's still pretty dang clean, guys. Pretty dang cameras. These back up. These are my security cameras. This one's even got sends me the pictures to my phone. But yep. So, anyways, looks clean, but not one socket in order. Oh yeah, those are all in order, Mark. They're all in order. Car's driving me home while I YouTube. Hey Blake, don't be too reliant on that. I just seen somebody crashed. They were in the back seat when the car was driving. Yeah, all three trucks been super busy. All three trucks are working tomorrow too. Two of them are the two super dumps are working for the quarry. I'm doing my land clearing job, and then Tuesday I gotta haul four loads of something with my solo, and then the two supers are gonna be working for the quarry again. So they're working full time for the quarry guys. You don't even need to ask me. The two supers are always busy. The solo is the one that's the work is starting to pick back up. So, super excited about that. Yeah, it's starting to pick up, Mark. It's starting to pick up. Blake, do you do anything like this? Maintenance records? When's the third super getting ordered? Oh, dude, I wish. Once the house is built, then we'll get as many dump trucks as we want. But we're gonna just keep our two. We're gonna get our house built. That's our main priority right now, is getting back up to where we were with our money, and then building the house. That's what our goal is right now, pretty much. Yep. Yeah, getting that second super dump on the road, man. You don't realize how much money goes out when you're getting your truck on the road. You know, especially if you are not driving it yourself. If you're paying an employee, man, it drains the accounts until the money starts coming in. Do you use cordless extension cords? I use extension cords. I don't have a cordless extension cord. We got a regular extension cord here. We make winter repair list, but I normally do the maintenance, so I don't do a list unless I have something special I need to remember. Oh, do you keep track of anything though? No, Brian. Once house is done, Miss Van Dyne gets her stuff, then more trucks. Oh yeah, you're right, Mark. Mark's right. She gets her kitchen and stuff, and then we get more trucks. This table is giving me. I feel like I got a few slivers or something. I need to put some vinyl or something, some varnish on this or some sort of coating. Hey, buddy. Oh, come here, Mason. Oil filter changes and breaks. Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep something, man, because I've had two buddies that had the maintenance records looked at by the DOT. They asked them for their maintenance records before, and so I definitely keep something. That way you don't look like a total redneck when they ask. So it's pretty easy when you got a new truck though, because all you put is, change the oil, change the oil, change the oil, change the air filter, change the fuel filter, change the tires. Oh, I didn't even put I changed the tires on that, did I? I'll have to add that right now. I forgot that. Nope, never used a refrigerated. I never hauled reefers before. Slash changed all driver tires on back. There we go. I wanted to make sure I had that updated too. Oh, man. No, it's just time to relax. It's just time to chill out on YouTube, Talk to you guys about, the future. Nothing but busy. There's a DOT blitz here in Texas this coming week. I don't know if it's nationwide. We're using the app called Road Trip to track service and parts. There you go, Morgan. Road Trip to track service and parts. That's a good idea. Flatbed. Basically just a regular trailer, but it doesn't have any sidewalls. They just strap it down with, straps and stuff. So, I don't know. I think it's good to have handwritten, records. That way, it would be nice if you had an app, though, because then if you did get pulled over, you could just show the officer, like, hey, officer, look, here's some of my maintenance records. Here you go, man. It's a $6 app. Yeah. It's probably worth it. That would be, I could see that being useful. Like if the officer's giving you a hard time, you're like, look, I can show you the maintenance records. I have them on my phone. Here's some of the records. They would like to see that. I bet. But it's also, if they show up at your door, you need to have something. And this is basically, bare bones. I actually got this from my last employer. They had these little strips like this. They were just cut into one strips though. And I took 3 of them and photocopied it. And that's how I got 3 on a page or something like that. Or I made it on Microsoft Word. I just copied theirs or something. I can't remember, but I don't think there's really a form or anything. You would say you probably just wrote them down. Yeah, with 10 different color ink pens, you know. They will say that though. They will say anything they want to. Oh, you must have just wrote that. Yeah, I did just write this one. But the paper that's in my clipboard, this one I wrote a few months ago. This one was last week. This one was the week before that, you know. And you can tell that these are old. Well, and the other thing that is very good for me is a lot of times I do YouTube videos also. So if they ever said something like that to me, I could be like, well, dude, you can say whatever you want to, but I got videos to back it up. You know, that's the nice thing about doing YouTube also is, you know, you got video proof. And a lot of times I'm live streaming when I'm doing it. How many hours are you allowed on the road? You're allowed 11 straight hours, I believe. I think that's what it is. 11 consecutive hours without a break. Well, you have to have like a lunch break, and then that's it. Then you have to clock out. You can have a total of 14 hours on duty. But we don't do log books in my dump trucks, so it's a little bit different. 10 in the UK. Yeah. You getting your CDL, Mark? Oh, man. Man, I'm tired, guys. Let me go get my bottle of water real quick. It's right over here. So, Morgan, where do you run your dump trucks out of? Mate, I've been considering getting a visa just so I can legally shoot a gun. You should, man. That'd be cool. That'd be cool, Mark. Just started in April. So last month? Dude, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. Wait, you're the one that has a transfer, right? Did you say you had a transfer? How big was the hole you had to dig? For what? Show these guys your collection. It's like a military stockade. No, I'm not showing them my guns, Mark. I've already showed that too many times to bury all that cash. Yeah, man, just getting rolling. Yes, sir. Transfer. So why did you do a transfer instead of a super? I think you guys have Super 10s in California. I'm not sure. Yeah. These are the only guns I show, Mark. trying not to show my guns off anymore on YouTube. I don't want somebody coming and trying to rob my stuff. There's too many crazy people on YouTube. I mean, there's some cool people out there, but I'm trying to be more personal or more private with my information. Like a lot of the stuff I share, but like some of the stuff I'm not sharing anymore because, you know, I don't really need to share it anymore. You know, I basically showed everything anyways. So if somebody wanted to see what I got, they could go back and look up the video. Yeah, supers are really popular, but it's hard to hire for a 18-speed transfer. So it was easy to get owner to part with it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so he wanted to get rid of the transfer because he couldn't find drivers for it. We bought the truck since it was new, we drove the truck since it was new, bought from boss. Did you decide how big of a home you will build? Yeah, John, we're going to be building, I think it's a 1,500 square foot home. It's either 1,500 or 1,200, I'm not sure. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's just a really small, you know, basically the bare minimum. It's not a 2-story or nothing. It's just going to be, you know, just what we need. Transformers, the only way they do it in California, what we call truck and pup. Americans are so small compared to Scottish Highlanders. Yeah, okay. Did you get the AC recharge? Not yet, Blake. That's going to happen this weekend, this coming weekend. As a new CDL holder, how does a person get the 2 years of experience driving a dump truck if all companies require experience to get the job to gain the experience? Patrick, that is the question everyone asks, right? So, Patrick, that's a great question. You got to find somebody who is willing to hire you without any experience. And usually it's, you know, probably a guy similar to myself that owns 1, 2, 3 trucks, 4 trucks, up to 10 trucks. And sometimes you get stuck doing the sucky stuff, you know, or Patrick, what you do is you say, I don't need any experience. I'm just going to learn on my own. And you go buy a dump truck and then you just go do it. And that's basically what I did, right? So I had truck driving experience, but I didn't have I had 0 dump truck experience when I started my business. And I tried to get a driving job for somebody else, and I got laughed off of Facebook. And then I came back, and my first 6 months of business made $100,000, and laughed at everybody who laughed at me. You know. So sometimes when nobody gives you a shot, you got to make your own shot. You know, don't play with their deck of cards. Get your own. So about a $500,000 house and materials cost. No, Blake. So my house, the cost to build the house itself, before lumber prices jumped through the roof, it was $127,000 just for my house to be built. Not including the septic, not including the well, not including the power, not including the driveway. Only the building itself was $127,000. Yeah, small companies take shots on new drivers. In most cases, it's the insurance companies that require the 2 years. A lot of times what happens also is sometimes the insurance company won't require you to have 2 years experience, but what they'll do is they will charge the company owner, you know, a certain amount per month because they're hiring you. And that sucks, you know. So like, for example, both of my drivers, when I hired them, they had flawless records, flawless, nothing on their records. So when I hired them, it actually saved me money. Like, to put them on my insurance, I saved like $500 a year per driver, you know, or maybe it was like 300 and 200 or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't that much, but it was something. And the first guy I tried to hire, he was gonna cost me 300, and he was a new guy, you know. So just think about it this way, you know, when you first are trying to get a job, they're gonna try and lowball you on the wage because number one, they're gonna have to pay for you on the insurance, and if you make one screw up, the insurance is gonna go super high on them, you know, and they're not charging enough as it is. So, you know, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to get experience. You know, a lot of people, like, I will take a chance on a new guy, but they're getting very low wages. And that's mainly because I'm taking a massive risk for myself and my business, you know, and it's got to pay off. So, yeah, but now with lumber, it will be 500K. Yeah. That's, we probably won't be building it for another year or two, but like till the market goes back down on the lumber prices, or we'll be building a shipping container house. This guy had the balls and amazing support wife, and took a massive risk that risk that all of watching didn't have the balls to do. Yeah. Like what Mark said, I took a massive risk starting my own business. And, you know, my grandpa always reminds me, he said, Brian, remember when you spent $8,000 on that truck and then you spent another 10 on it before you even made a single dime? Like, all that money you invested into that business, your personal money, you didn't see a single dime until you started working the truck, and then it started coming back in. You know, remember that. He always tells me, remember how much money you put into this business before you made anything back. I hope not, Blake. In a year or two, it'll be a million. Better just pour a concrete house, or like you said, shipping containers. A lumber mill near me would hire newbies because they self-insure. Yeah, that's also cool. You know, if a company has enough money in the bank that they can self-insure themselves too. That is that's where it's at too. If you can self-insure yourself, you're saving so much money. You know, that's but you gotta have a lot of money in the bank to do that. You gotta have a lot of money, and it's just gotta sit there. How's the side by sides running? Still trucking along? Oh yeah. Yep. Side by side's doing great, man. I haven't driven it in probably a few days. I've been trying to walk everywhere, get a little bit more exercise in, but it still runs great, man. Yeah, I love that thing. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. Lumber prices are coming down. Yeah, I hope they come down because, I mean, if they don't, we're gonna be just putting off our house even longer, you know, because we're not gonna take out a loan to build our house. We're just gonna pay cash. So, you know, it is what it is. You got to you I don't understand your question, Sid. It getting to be dirt bike riding weather. Yeah, it is, Sydney. Yeah, I took it out like 2 weeks ago or something like that. It was so fun. Did a few wheelies. Did you mess with the wife and tell her you found a really good deal on another super dump? No, she would already know, Blake. She already knows. The house is it first. We'll be all one level. I'd go 3 car. You want? Yeah, we're doing one level. Yep, one level, kind of like a Rambler. Um, and we decided we were going to do a one level house because we lived in a duplex and that was a 2 level. It wasn't a split level, but our bedroom was upstairs. And you know, there was a few times I didn't fall down. I never fell down the stairs. Kinsey never fell down the stairs. But there's always a time where you slip and you stumble a little bit, and you're like, "Whoa! I almost broke my hip right there." you know. And the older you get, the more likely you are to fall and hurt yourself. And I was also thinking, um, if we ever did have my grandparents move in with me, you know, one level, we could easily add another room onto it and it would be one level and, it would work out perfect. We wouldn't have to worry about them falling down the stairs or nothing, or my mom or, because we're going to live here until we're dead, right? This property's been in my family for 6 generations. It's not going nowhere. Sid is saying you got to be making $1 million before you can afford a quad. Okay. I've had 2 quads before. I paid cash for them. But actually, dirt bikes are faster, so. Have you looked any more into trying to get into some night work for the supers? I haven't really looked yet, Blake, because the asphalt season hasn't really started yet. I would say they're going to start probably next month, June. May, June is when the asphalt kind of starts. So maybe that's when I'll start trying to find some night work for those. One story is super easy to add into. Just keep that in mind when you're laying out the sewer too. Yeah, that's you definitely want to keep that in mind, John. Sorry, Brian. It's $1 million a year just to do self-insured. You gotta have 1 million in your bank probably or something like that. It's a lot of money. But it can't be the bank's money. It's got to be your money, and it's got to be sitting in an account doing nothing. So you can't have it invested in mutual funds. It's just got to be sitting there. That's what self-insured is. You know. And it's got to be your money. That's what self-insured means. And there are a lot of people that are out there that can afford that. I can't afford that yet, you know. So I got to pay somebody a few thousand a year. That's what it is. What it is. Will your fuel plant hold enough to run those bad boys 24/7? I think so. We're getting our fuel tanks filled up every week now, and we got 1,000 gallons. What are you doing to the dog, boy? Yeah, Morgan, you would be saving a ton in insurance. There's no doubt about that. Note to self insure. Self insure, you just have to have 10% just in an account that you can't touch. 10% of what, Blake? Who do you get your health insurance through now? John, I don't have health insurance. I think health insurance is kind of a scam. I'll be honest. In Washington, it's a scam. For $1 million in self-insurance, you need to put 100,000 into a special account that you can't touch. That's cheap. Yeah, that ain't that bad. I don't have health insurance. Number one reason why I don't have health insurance is because I haven't been to the doctors in like 10 years. You know, other than my DOT physical, which the state requires I get, I don't go to the doctors. I don't go to the hospital. You know, if I broke a bone or something, I would just let it heal naturally. You know, probably. I just don't do stupid stuff to break bones. Or, you know, I just try not to do stupid stuff, and, you know, common sense goes a long ways. You know, I know some people have to have health insurance for their medication and stuff, but I don't take medication. I don't do any of that stuff, you know. So I don't see why I should be paying somebody $1,000 a month just so they can check on me twice a year and tell me what I already know, that I'm healthy. You know, maybe when I'm in my 50s or 60s, you know, when I would like to have my heart checked, or, you know, check to see if I got cancer or something, you know, in those ages when things are more prone to happen, then yeah. But right now, I'm healthy, I'm young, I don't need health insurance. It's just, I'm not going to pay. We had a broken arm here. Hospital bill was $16K. Just wait. Yeah, that sucks. 16,000. And it was probably 16,000 with insurance. Even without insurance, it's about the same price. You're going to pay no matter what. The only difference is you're paying every single month. I would just pay one time. That's what the difference is. According to Justin, you need to have $100,000 Snap-on bill and $3.5 million debt in trucks. Do you advise this? No, Mark. Break a limb, just rub some dirt on it. Amen. You need insurance. You only get older. Here's what I do say. I do have term life insurance. That's the only insurance that I have right now. Term life insurance. I have insurance on the trucks and the cars and the business and stuff because that's required. But I do not have health insurance. I do not believe in health insurance. I think it's a scam and they rip you off, you know. So, sorry, no. Not subscribing to that. Why would I pay a doctor $1,000 a month when I'm not going to need anything for 10 years, 15 years, you know? So, sorry. If I break my arm and I need to go see a doctor, I'll just sell one of my machines and have it paid for that way. But I can guarantee you, I ain't going to do nothing stupid enough to break my arm. You know? Accidents do happen though, but I don't get hurt for some reason. I'm really lucky in that sense. I don't get hurt. And if I do get hurt, it's not that. It's not like that. It's like, oh, I scraped my hand, or oh, I got a bruise, you know. So, you know, some people need health insurance. I just don't subscribe to that. You know, back when Obama was president, he fined me $1,000 for not having health insurance. And so I'm pretty bitter about that. How is the trailer holding up? Will you need to build a cover for it? Make it last until the home is done? No, it's holding up great. Better sell the dirt bike. LOL. Yeah. I don't go riding crazy, Sydney. I don't do craziness. Yep, you're right, and he's out. Yeah. Yep, the dirt bike is more of a, you know, it's beautiful weather. I want to ride around here with the kid on the back, or I just want to pop into town real quick and come back without having to, start up a car or something. Amen to that, Blake, right there. What Blake said, just put your insurance money into an account. By the time you need to get something fixed, you will have way more put back than what you will need. And on top of that, all that money is yours to keep. They're not taking all that money they're getting every single month and investing it and making even more money off of you. I used to think like that when I was younger, get insurance. You never know. Yeah, I can't live in the world of what ifs, Joe. Sorry, man. I don't live in the world of what ifs. And that's another reason why I started a business. That's one of the things that all business owners have in common is a lot of us, we don't live in the world of what ifs, or you can't just think negative all the time. You got to think positive, man. Maybe that's why I never got hurt, because I just think positive. I don't know. But I think most of the thing is just knowing what you're doing and knowing, what are the consequences of what you're doing, and just keeping that all in mind and not going past your limits. Insurance is a scam. You pay for years and they will drop you for using it. Amen. Risk takers and tax avoiders. No, they don't, Justin. Nope. Hell no. I told you I don't believe in health insurance. I don't have it for me, my wife, or my kids. And I tell them all the time, you do something stupid, you got to pay for it. That's just what it goes down to. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And why do you make an account for your kid and you're on your kid's account? I just don't get that. I mean, anyways, guys, enough of the insurance talk. I don't want to talk about insurance. I think it's a scam. It's a waste of money. It's not something I subscribe to. So, done with talking about the maintenance. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to pound that like button, pound the subscribe button. Check out the join button. Join the channel. We got a whole bunch of cool videos for members only. We're definitely going to keep amping that up. So it's less than $1 a month. Father of the Year. Hey, man, I didn't have to make myself a Father of the Year trophy to feel good about my fatherhood. I'll catch you guys on the next one.